Hey everybody, welcome to the patch 13.1 preview video. I think I'm going to stop doing 2 preview videos because I do 2 preview videos, then I do the patch notes themselves, and it kind of spams people's feeds a lot, and I notice that they start getting less views over time as people just watch one of the 3, and that's probably fine, and it's probably good to have more content for you guys to watch, but at the end of the day, it kind of fills my channel up with a lot of videos that people don't really want to go back and watch, so I figured why not, cut it down a little bit. I got other videos I want to do in the meantime anyway. If you might notice, I've been trying to branch out to do some other things. So this will go live, and then when this goes live, the rank season will start. So the rank season starts with this patch. This patch is bad. Really, really. Oh my god, it's terrible. It is honestly one of the worst patches I've ever seen in my life. So instead of, normally I just sort of sit here and I'm very descriptive and I'm like, okay, well this change will do this. This time around, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to shit talk this patch the entire time. Now, I need to try to not swear because when you swear, it hurts your algorithm, right? So this is one of the freaking worst patches. I wanted to freaking unlife myself after seeing this patch. How bad is it? Well, let's go through it. AD Shaco is being buffed. I guess AD Shaco is probably less annoying than AP Shaco. Wait, is it? I don't know. Which one's more annoying? I don't know. They're both absolutely terrible in every way. I hate them so much. Honestly, Shaco's not like my least favorite champion, but I really don't like when anyone picks him ever. Like Shaco, Nocturne, those are probably my least. Elise, actually, I think Elise is actually, I think I hate Elise less than Nocturne or Shaco, because like Elise, you can like flash her stun kind of, and she turret dives, but like Shaco, like he just, ta-da, he's behind you and just shink, shink, and then shink, and you're dead. And you're like, oh, cool, I guess I should have waited under my turret. Awesome, amazing, outstanding. So AD Shaco is being buffed. His Q mana cost is going down from 60 to 40. His Q backstab crit is going from 30% to 40%, so it's more damage. And the AD ratio on his E, that's when he throws the dagger, it goes shink. That one's AD ratio is going from 75 to 80. So we're getting a bit more shink, shink, shinking on the AD Shaco. Overall, probably not that actual big of a buff, to be honest with you. I really doubt this is going to change anything. Jace is being driven to pick ban. His base AD is going up by 3. Yes, really, 3 base damage. And he's got 2 more buffs coming. The damage on his lightning field is going up by 10 damage per second. So 3 more damage per auto attack, 10 more damage on the lightning field. So lots of buffs to that early game Jace all-in. Then his melee Q is going up as well. It's going up by 10 damage at rank 1 and 35 damage at rank 6. For those who don't know, Jace's abilities have 6 ranks. So he's getting 10 more damage on his W per second, 10 more damage on his melee Q, and 3 more damage per auto attack. Here's the thing, Ryan. Here's the thing. Do you guys understand that Jace is like nearly like he's actually pretty good right now? Like he's not like, oh my god, the best champion ever, but he's the 13th highest pick with a 49% win rate. Jace is balanced at a 49 to 48% win rate. That's generally where he's balanced. If Jace ever reaches a 50% win rate, he immediately goes to pick ban and competitive play. He starts destroying the meta. He starts being really, really unfun for everyone. He has no counterplay. He's a terrible, terrible champion. Don't do any of this. Take the Jace changes away entirely. I don't care. It's not, like, the thing is, whenever I say, oh man, I don't think this champion should be buffed, or what is everyone going to say? Oh, but Hashinshin, what about the low ranks? At the low ranks, he's not good. I don't care about the low ranks. I don't have to care about the low ranks. I do not give a shit about the low ranks. I care about my ranks. I care about having fun for me, because I'm more important than you. And I don't like fighting Jace because he has no counterplay and he just shits all over the laning phase and basically eliminates half the roster from ever being picked. Oh, I want to play Olaf, you say. Then phase rush Jace runs up and chunks 2/3 your health away, phase rushes away, comes back 10 seconds, does it again, and you're sitting there like, okay, that was cool. I mean, I guess it was fun to not pick one of the 3 champions I'm allowed to pick in a Jace meta. What is my point? Screw Jace. Please, Riot, do not buff Jace. Don't do any of these. Not even one. Just literally leave him. He's already fine. Lissandra's base HP is going from 104 to 110. I could make a joke here about, oh, wow, Lissandra's getting to 110 base HP. Now she's more Okay, whatever. They're talking about her HP per level, obviously. Okay. Her Q slow is going from 16 to 28 to 20 to 36. So more slow on her Q, more health per level. Then her W cooldown, that's her root, is going from 14 to 10 to 12 to 8. Overall, pretty significant buffs on Lissandra. Lissandra doesn't really annoy me that much. I don't think she really annoys anyone that much right now. But she will annoy people if she ever gets to be viable. I'm going to look at D2 Plus to get some more stats. I don't think anyone really likes Lissandra. She's one of those champions who, like, Riot hasn't let be viable in so long that I think a lot of people don't remember that everyone hates Lissandra. It's a lot like Malzahar. Malzahar's fine if he's, like, niche and kind of, like, shoved off in the corner and no one actually plays him. The second people actually do play him, though, everyone hates him. And that's how I feel about Lissandra. I don't think anyone hates her right now, but the second, and I mean the second she gets to be viable, you're all going to go, oh, wow, so she, like, gap closes in, then roots everyone, then goes invulnerable, and then slows everyone, and then you all die because she just chunked all your health bars to half in an AoE in CC from a gap closer that is unpreventable. Wow, that's kind of lame. And yeah, that's how I think Lissandra is going to be. So Sion, okay, this is a good one. Sion is getting 40 more health at level 1. Now remember, that health at level 1 infects his W shield. His, you know, his, I don't know if that's, that shield is going to get more health. Not much, mind you, but it's, you know, a couple points of health. Because I think it's like 8% at rank 1. I don't know. Then his Q damage is going up considerably. The Q max damage is going up 20 at all ranks. Now that's Q max damage. That's not the Q tap damage. Now, if my Riotism is correct, that should be, oh boy, let me look this up because I didn't want to show it on the thing. So right now, oh man, the wiki just it doesn't automatically go to the wiki if you Google it anymore. It's really frustrating. Okay, so Sion currently, let's see. The minimum physical damage is 40, maximum is 70. So this is going to 90. So the minimum will probably, unless they're only increasing the maximum and not the tap. I don't know, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, they're a bit ambiguous about this. Are they only increasing the max, like the charge? Will the tap damage go up as well? I don't know. Overall, a pretty good buff to Sion. Will it be good enough to make him viable? No, it won't. No, not even close. This champion is ungodly terrible right now. He gets a lot of health based on, you know, him being Sion, but then the only item that can cover his health is Jack Show. But Jack Show is terrible on him, so he has to go Heartsteel. But then if anyone has % health damage, he just instantly dies. So then his second item, he has to, like, instantly try to cover his health. But he can't do that because he needs to get damage, because his damage is not really that good. So he has to go Sunfire. But oh wait, now he dies to every mage on the planet, and he doesn't have that much armor, so Blighted One King belts him. So okay, third item, maybe he can, and that's the issue with Sion right now. He's terrible. He's just absolutely terrible. He's absolutely low tier as hell, piece of crap champion, absolutely terrible. This will not even slightly make him viable. Xayah is getting buffed, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit shocked by Xayah getting buffed. Yeah, I mean, she's not doing great right now. I mean, if I look at Masters Plus Xayah, are you doing good, Xayah? Yeah, she's not doing great, but I don't really understand why we're buffing Xayah. Of all champions, Xayah, whatever. Her base attack speed is going up. Now, remember that affects her attack speed ratio. So remember, all your attack speed is based on your base attack speed. So if you have more base attack speed, then when you increase a % of your attack speed, you're getting more. So Xayah will scale better and be better. Early game, she'll be better the entire game. So this is a pretty good buff for Xayah, from 0.625 to 0.658 attack speed. 0.625 is on the low end. 0.658 is at the mid, not like high end, but it's like the mid high end, right? It's like a good attack speed, right? So it's pretty good. As her Twisted Fate, he's getting a number of changes here. His Q cooldown, that's when he throws whoosh cards, whoosh, right? The 3 of them. Not the stun card, but when he goes whoosh, the wild cards, and he throws 3 of them out. Those cooldowns are going from 6 flat to 6 to 5. So later in the game, Twisted Fate's going to have lower on his whoosh, whoosh, wild cards. Whoosh, you know what I mean? Then his AP, so the AP ratio on his blue card is going up considerably from 90% to 115%, which is kind of nutty. That's actually kind of an insane AP ratio. To be honest with you, we might actually see some weird things where blue card actually kills people, because 115% AP ratio is like, that's like a champion's ultimate level of AP. So yeah, then the red card ratio is going from 60% to 70%. So gold card is still going to do not that much damage. Red card is going to do damage, but blue card is going to go ka-chunk if you actually build ability power. What will this change? Not really that much. I suspect no one's going to pull blue card. I suspect red card will still just kind of be for wave clear. The wild card cooldown reduction is like neat, but all over. It's like bleh. Aatrox is being annihilated. You know, there's a saying. Okay, so there's this game I used to play called Poxnor. And when something got nerfed so hard it was effectively being removed from the game, they called it shoeboxing, because it was a card game, effectively, right? And so if it was nerfed so hard that no one would use it, it was called shoeboxing. As in, like in real life, you'd put a bad card in your shoebox and you'd store it for later. Shoeboxing a card meant that it was just being put in a shoebox. You wouldn't use it anymore. There's not really a saying for that I can use for League of Legends, but I'm going to use it right now. They're effectively shoeboxing Aatrox. They're putting him in the shoebox. He's gone for now. He's not going to be here for a while, okay? He's out of here, okay? So what are they doing? What are they doing to my buddy, my pal Aatrox? His passive damage is going from 5 to 12 to 4 to 10. So his passive damage is going down considerably. Remember, because it does less damage, that means he now heals for less. Then, during his ultimate, his healing in his ultimate is also going down considerably by 20%. He's losing 20% of his total healing in his ultimate. So it's going from 25 to 45 to 20 to 36. So it's from 45% healing to 36% healing. Then they weren't content butchering his healing and butchering his damage. They're now also nerfing his R movement speed. That's right. The movement speed he gets during his ultimate is going from 60 to 100 to 50 to 80. Less movement speed, less damage, therefore less healing, and then less healing. My gut feeling is Aatrox will probably have like a 47% win rate after this. They'll buff him, and then they'll probably buff his tankiness, and then he'll be even more frustrating to fight. But for now, Aatrox is being shoeboxed. Speaking of shoeboxing, Mundo's also being shoeboxed. Mundo's base HP is coming down by 40. Yeah, 40 less base HP. And here's the thing, they were like, oh, damn, 40 less base HP? Surely that's good enough. And someone at Riot was like, no, more. Kill him more. So then his armor growth is also going down by 0.5, giving him about 8 less armor at level 18, which, you know, is impactful for a champion who needs armor to cover their giga HP. Then the amount of damage he gets from his E is also going down from 2.5 to 4.5 to 2 to 4. So he's losing 0.5% of his health as AD. For a champion who is only viable at the low ranks, they are effectively obliterating him. Mundo is being pushed into the shoebox with Aatrox. Fiora is also being nerfed, but not really even by that much. The AD ratio on her passive is going from 4.5 to 4. So instead of 4.5, it'll be 4. For those of you keeping track, yes, that is actually what it used to be. So they're just returning it back to when she was only regularly broken, not giga world-endingly broken. In addition, her QAD ratio is going down by 5%. Yes, 5%. That's it, 5%. 5% less AD. That is 0.05 AD. That means if she builds 200 bonus attack damage, she will deal 10 less damage on her Q. For those of you keeping track, that doesn't do anything. So between these two nerfs, it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. Fiora might be more beatable for champions who can actually compete with her now, but for champions who can't compete with her, which is still like 80% of the roster, no one can really do anything. There's still no opening to her kit. She's still ungodly, insanely broken. For those of you keeping track, yes, Fiora is literally the most banned champion in the game. After this nerf, she might go down to like the 5th most banned champion in the game. Still, though, you can't do anything if they pick Fiora. You can't do anything, man. Like, the thing is, either your champion can fight Fiora or she stomps you into the dirt and you never get to play the game. So the vast majority of the roster never actually tries to fight Fiora because you can't. So you have to ban her, and Riot's not doing anything about that. Croissante's getting a fairly significant nerf. This one's actually really big. I suspected he was going to be nerfed. This one in total is actually rather large, and particularly with the Jack Show nerf coming up later, I'm hoping he's still going to be viable. My gut feeling is he's still going to be viable, but this is still a fairly significant nerf. Potentially too much. We'll see. So his base movement speed is going down by 5, so he will be almost the slowest champion in the game, which is really weird for a champion who works purely on auto attacks. I think that alone would be a pretty significant nerf. They're also nerfing the damage on his passive by 5, which really affects him early game. That makes a lot of his matchups significantly more tough. 5 less damage on his passive, which he spams a lot of in the early game, is really significant. I'm not really 100% sure Riot wants to do both of these. But then they're also nerfing his W damage rather significantly. Now, I'm not going to read you all these numbers because, as you can see here, there's a lot of numbers going on here, okay? His W damage, the uncharged W, so when you just tap it in auto attack, it basically won't deal any damage anymore, okay? When you charge it all the way up, it's losing some damage. Not like a lot, but, you know, some. So if you tap your W, it basically won't do any damage anymore. You're just enabling your passive and you're just enabling a stun, right? If you hold it, you'll do mostly the same damage. I think this was done primarily to try to nerf his ultimate so that, like, in his ult, he can just tap W for pretty good damage. I'm not sure because, like, nerfing his damage this bad is pretty brutal, especially when they're also hitting his base movement speed. Remember, Croissante very much relies on being in position to use his abilities properly. If you nerf his movement speed, that impacts his kit really, 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 really bad. I highly suspect Croissante's probably, particularly with the Jack Show nerf, this one's going to hurt pretty bad. I don't think he'll be viable at the low ranks. He'll probably be viable at the highest ranks. I'm not sure. Rammus is getting a whole bunch of nerfs as well. Yeah. So his AD is going down by 3. Apparently Jace is stealing his attack damage. Who knew? Who knew Jace had that power? His base HP is going down by 20. So 3 less damage, 20 less HP. The W percent bonus resists now amps flat resists from W. So I don't know why they're doing this, but the way it reads, and I'm pretty sure this is what they're actually doing, is the W will now increase your armor by a percent of the armor that it's increasing it by, which feels completely stupid. Like, why? Like, you get 20 more armor, then 20% more armor, but then the 20% affects the 20, then why wouldn't they just say you get 24 more armor, right? Like, that's just needless stupidity. That's just needless things to work out in your head. That doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's stupid. Then the W armor is going down from 40 to 25, which makes sense because now you'll increase that 25 by a percent, which is stupid, but okay. Then the amount of armor you get, instead of 60 to 100%, you now get 40 to 100% bonus armor. So effectively, his early game is way squishier, way less damaging. His late game is roughly the same. It's a little bit better based on what they're doing. So instead of late game, you're getting 40 flat. Late game, you'll get 50 flat because now the percent increases it. I don't know why they couldn't just make the armor per level listed in the tooltip itself. But okay. Yumi is getting her Q damage nerfed a pretty good amount. At rank 1, the damage is the same. At rank 5, she's losing 50 damage on her Q. Because Yumi's mostly used right now for whacking people with Qs, that's actually a fairly significant nerf to her viability, because a lot of what Yumi's doing right now is maxing Q and then whacking people with it. So, okay. Zeri is very, 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 very overpowered right now. Oh my god, Hashinshin about the low ranks. I don't care about the low ranks. I don't care. Go in the comments. Please Please, if you think I care about the low ranks, go in the comments, type it out. Be like, Hashinshin, what about the low ranks? Don't you care about? I don't care. I literally, like, everyone who says, but what about the low ranks? It goes right on. I'm like, oh, what? I can't even conceptualize caring. Like, caring, I can't even think about what it would feel like to care about the low ranks. I can't. I wish I could feel what it feels like to care about the low ranks, but I just don't. I just have zero empathy towards the low ranks. So Zeri's AD growth is going down from 1.5 to 1.3, which is, it's a nerf. It's not significant at all. We're talking about like 3.5 AD at level 18. It's just completely insignificant. But then her Q damage is going down from 15 to 27 to 15 to 23. Probably not enough to balance her, and she will get nerfed again, probably. I can't say 100%. She will probably get nerfed again in the future, but at the very least, this slows down her early game a bit. I say her mid game. It slows down her mid game. Maybe that's enough to balance her, but I doubt it. She's currently got a 51% win rate at Masters Plus. I don't need to check because I checked that earlier. She currently has a 51% win rate. She's balanced to like 48, so she needs to lose a lot of win rate. Sorry, low rankers. She will literally never be allowed to be viable at the low ranks. Now we have a second list of changes here. This is system buff. So let me go through this. Axiom Arc is being buffed from 10 lethality to 18, which is rather significant. Riot is evidently going with the policy of, look, if no one's buying it, then we're going to make you buy it. Buy it for the 18 lethality, you bitch. Which is an interesting choice, no doubt. Horizon Focus is going from 85 to 100 ability power. I think they could have done something else with the item, but yeah, just making it a Giga ability power item is a thing. I'm not sure, to be honest, but okay. Rod of Ages is being buffed, so maybe building the Rod of Ages actually makes you a real champion. Obviously, because Riot is buffing Rod of Ages, and then later down here, I'll show you, they're buffing Seraph's Embrace. What they're also doing is nerfing Kassadin, who's currently at a dominant position in the meta, but actually I lied. They're not nerfing Kassadin at all. They're just buffing Rod of Ages considerably. How much? They're increasing the base HP by 100, which is interesting. They're reducing the amount that you need to proc the movement speed buff of the item, and the movement speed buff itself is being changed from 25 to 35%. So more movement speed more often, and more health, and apparently Kassadin's not being nerfed for it. Good job, Riot. That's why you're paid the big bucks. Winter's Approach is being buffed. They're effectively undoing the nerf they did earlier, because shockingly they realized that Winter's Approach was never overpowered and was actually quite weak. What is Winter's Approach? You're probably asking. What do you mean? What do you mean they're buffing Winter's Approach? What is that? That's that item. Do you guys remember that item they added that turns mana into health, and like it got nerfed because everyone was like, "Oh my god, Winter's Approach is so broken." Blah 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 blah. And then like it kind of became extremely apparent that it was absolutely terrible, and no one built it, and it's just a god awful item. Yeah, they're going back and buffing it. Its cost is going down by 100, and its health is going up by 50. Shockingly, and now I for one was shocked because I mean obviously I knew it's a terrible item. Legend Tenacity is being nerfed considerably, and I actually mean that like a lot. From 30% tenacity at max stacks to 20% tenacity at max stacks. I don't know why Riot is doing this. This seems totally random. And especially in a meta where damage is continuously getting buffed, or damage is getting continuously buffed every patch, and now they're reducing tenacity from Legend Tenacity. This seems to be a nerf aimed at bruisers, but I'm not really sure. A lot of people were slotting Legend Tenacity so that they didn't get stun locked, but the thing was, well, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. This company is just, I don't even know. Like, what? I don't even know. I seriously, I don't, what are they doing, man? What are they doing? Legend Tenacity has been that way since, like, what, 4 years ago? Longer? Jesus, it's been like 5 years now, hasn't it? It's been a long time, man. And suddenly Legend Tenacity needs to be nerfed, which is so weird to me, because, like, right, you do realize you've buffed so much shit because there's Legend Tenacity, right? And just off the top of my head, hold on here. Just off the top of my head, do you guys remember when you buffed Morgana? yeah, you guys, let me find this right here. Yeah, you reduced the cooldown on Dark Binding because you said, well, everyone could get tenacity against her anyway, so we need to reduce its cooldown. But like you've buffed and nerfed, and yeah, I remember random patch notes from Morgana from 2 years ago. Don't ask. It's just how my memory works, okay? But like you guys have like rebalanced the game around the fact that people can get 30% tenacity if they really need it. Now you're going back and saying, oh no, you only need 20%. Well, no, right? We need the full 30%, man. You promised us 30%, okay? So Jack showed the Protean is not being adjusted, in my opinion. It's being pretty flat nerfed. Pretty flat nerfed. The cost is going up by 100, and the resistances are being changed. Instead of 15% total resistances, you're now getting 20% bonus resistances. So you'll need like 400 plus 450 maybe armor to equal out to the amount of armor you're getting right now, which is a lot, obviously. There's basically no way a tank can get that except at 6 items. So the item is 100% being nerfed, period. More gold costs, less resists. However, they are changing the drain. You know, the drain, that thing that barely anyone plays around because it's really random and comes in after 8 seconds and it's really hard to position yourself and plan for it. That drain is being buffed considerably from 3% max health drain to 7% plus 80. So if you do hit a drain on like 3 to 4 people, it will actually heal a considerable amount of HP. So, okay. But it no longer drains minions and monsters. The problem I have with this, right? Make it inactive then. Just like put it like after 5 seconds in combat, you can press the button and activate it to do the drain, right? Like maybe do something like that, because like it sucks because like 8 seconds is a lot of time to plan for. There's no like visual or anything. You have to like be staring at the bottom of your screen, like squinting, like, okay, 6 seconds, 7, 8. Like you gotta like be squinting down there. Like it's just it's unfun. It's not fun. It's unfun to deal with. For those of you who don't remember, the only way you can see how many stacks you have is you have to like go to the bottom of your screen and look at the buff, and you have to be like tracking the, like imagine you're in the middle of a team fight, you're like dodging skill shots, like trying to hit your abilities, like dodging more, you get it, and then like you have to be like constantly like looking down. How many seconds? Okay, I better position myself in front of everyone right now. Like it's just stupid. It's stupid, right? It's unfun and stupid. Seraph's Embrace. Now this is what Archangels builds into. So the mana AP item. Its cost is going up by 400. Its ability power is going up by 20, and it's losing the ability haste. Yeah, it's going back to being Giga AP. So it'll be 3,000 gold. Lots of AP, no ability haste, but in return, it's getting a shield. Now it's getting a lifeline shield. Now I'm assuming because it's lifeline passive, that means it automatically activates at 30% health. So it shouldn't anymore be an active that you activate to get the shield. Shouldn't. So remember, one of the things Ryan said why they removed the shield is low rankers never actually used the shields, and high rankers did use the shield, and it was very, very, very overpowered. So I'm assuming they're just making it a passive now instead of an active to try to like balance it out. I know what you're thinking. They're balancing it out by making low rankers less able to screw up. Yeah, actually, that's seemingly what they're doing. Is they don't want low rankers to screw up, because what happens is the low rankers literally just don't activate it ever, and it was super goddamn overpowered at the high ranks and worthless at the low ranks because they just didn't use it. Does this video make it sound like I hate low-ranking people a lot? I don't know. Maybe I'm going a bit too ham on them. Anyway, you're getting a shield for 250 plus 20% current mana. I don't think that uses your mana. I think you just get a shield based on your current mana. So that's it. That's it for this patch. I'm not going to dwell on any of this too much because I'm kind of really tired. I played League for like 14 hours today. So, you know, if you want to go over any part of this video, just like scroll back in time. I guess like rewind and go back over it. I don't want to, you know, just, if you want to recap, just go back over it. I was pretty thorough, I feel. Like, this is like a 30-minute video, man. So if you want to watch any of this again, just go back and scroll through it. If you don't, okay, that's cool. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Remember, you Patreon people, you're brilliant. You're awesome. I love you. If you subscribe to my Patreon, you can continue to support me and this channel, and you can continue to enable me to do really cool Hashinshin stuff. Thank you to all my YouTube members. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for being here. And if you make it this far in this video, thank you. Thank you for getting to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. So thank you all, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everybody.